What's up, Tiger fans? It's Morgan here with the Morgan Thomas Show, and I want to ask you a question today. Who do you think is going to be the surprise Clemson football player for 2021? I know who I think, and I'll let you know my pick for offense and defense, but make sure you get in the comments and let me know as well. I think it's going to be an exciting season for Tiger fans and the Clemson Tigers, so let's get into it. Before we get into it, though, I want to let you know, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on all of our exclusive Clemson content we put out every single week. All right, so before I get into my picks for offense and defense, I wanted to talk about the teams or players that we already know are on the national stage for the ACC and for Clemson as well. And that's the preseason All-ACC team. Starting on the offensive side, you have Justin Ross, wide receiver, and offensive tackle Jordan McFadden. We all know those players should be on that list and are on that list, and we're not surprised, or at least I'm not surprised, that those players are there. Justin Ross and Jordan McFadden are both returning this season, but doing something different than they did last season. You know, Jordan McFadden was on the right-hand side of the offensive line, and then Justin Ross did not play at all last year. So going to be interesting to see how they do in kind of a little bit of a transition. I mean, they still are playing those positions that they're used to. So we'll look to see what they're going to do. And I know nationally most people think they're going to be doing well this season. On defense, no surprises mostly here. Defensive end, Myles Murphy. Defensive tackle Brian Bresee, and Tyler Davis as well. Though that's for the defensive line, I think no surprise that those three guys are there. Obviously, they're going to be making a big impact on a national stage, and look forward to seeing what they can do in 2021. You've got linebacker James Skalski, who is the heart and soul of the defense, so we all know that as well. Cornerback Andrew Booth Jr., which we know that, or at least we know he's a five-star guy. He's going to get his time to shine now and be that number one cornerback there. And then Nolan Turner, a safety who has come on strong as he's gotten older and further into the system and more experience as well. So definitely had a great year last year. The defense did amazing, as they typically always do, that the Tiger fans can count on. Looking to see what they can do for 2021. Again, those 8 guys on that All-ACC team, no surprise there. Before I get into my two picks, one for defense and one for offense, I wanted to go back 10 years from now and say that the 2001 end of the year All-ACC team, you got first team quarterback Woody Dantzler. That was the year that he passed for 2,360 yards and rushed for over 1,000 yards. So been a long time since 2001. A lot has happened, a lot has changed for the Clemson Tigers for the good. I want to give a shout out to the rest of the players there as well. Offensive tackle Akil Smith, guard Will Merritt, offensive guard Kyle Young, linebacker Chad Carson, and defensive back Charles Hafley. I think everybody who might be watching this show definitely knows those names and are very familiar. But for me, let's get into my picks for defense and offense. I'm going to start with a defense with saying Justin Foster. Let me pull up a little full screen of him and tell you that Justin Foster, 6'2", 275. He's a graduate player. Again, somebody that we thought was not going to be on this team is going to come back. Had some issues with COVID, issues with asthma, but was definitely a player who showed out when he was on the field, and one that I think is going to be a huge impact for Clemson. I don't think a lot of people nationally are looking for him, but I think he will do great this season. Again, if you look at some of his stats, credited with 66 career tackles, 17.5 for loss, 7 sacks, a pass breakup, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and has played 756 total snaps over 39 career games with 17 starts. So someone who is got a ton of experience and going to bring a ton to the table for the Tigers. I know everybody's looking at Myles Murphy, but I think on the other end, Justin Foster could be a guy to watch out for and will be a surprise player for 2021. And it's going to be a great story, too, to see where he's come from and where he is now. Now, on the offensive side, this is something that I don't normally do. And I'm going to go ahead and pick an offensive tackle. I know Alan is out there somewhere watching thinking, wow, what in the world is Morgan doing picking an offensive tackle? He normally does not go after the big guys, but it's easy to pick the flashy guys on offense. I think, Will Shipley, for one, is one that's getting talked about a ton as the season gets closer and closer. But let's go to Walker Parks, 6'5", 295, sophomore, ESPN freshman All-American for 2020, who enters 2021 having previously played 119 snaps over 11 games. And if you remember, he has it over on his Twitter account, Walker Park 64. He had a huge cleat-upping block in the ACC championship game that kind of went viral a little bit because of how aggressive he knocked down the Notre Dame player. But again, the offensive line is one of those position groups that definitely has to improve a ton for 2021. And I think it starts with, really, for me, Jordan McFadden for sure, who's already on the list for preseason All-ACC. And then Walker Parks, who's not on that list, but I think will be on that list at the end of the season because of what he brings to the table. Big, strong guy who has already got a ton of snaps, even as a freshman. So I think that's key for him. As you know, the Clemson staff, for the offensive line in general, not just Clemson, it takes some time to get there and get your snaps. It takes some growth and maturity and development as a player, physically and mentally. Walker Parks was already able to step in and take almost 200 snaps. So he's already there experience-wise, or even just has a step up on everybody else. So I look forward to seeing what he can do at right tackle this season. All right, so that's my two picks. I got Justin Foster on defense, Walker Parks on offense. Maybe not the flashiest guys, but this is the surprise players, or my surprise players for 2021. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think, who your players are, what your picks are, one offense, one defense, and we'll see how it all shapes out throughout the 2021 season. Before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on all of our exclusive Clemson content we put out every single week.